this is my bare face without makeup. I've already washed my face and moisturized. So first we're going to start with the primer, and my favorite drugstore one is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I am extremely oily, so this is my baby, as you can tell. And I am just going to take a little bit and apply it all over the face, just working it in. All right, now my primer is all set in. It feels super tacky and kind of sticky, which is perfect. That way my foundation sticks to it better. And my favorite drugstore foundation is the Maybelline Super Stay Full Coverage. This thing is amazing for oily skin and it lasts all day. And I am in the shade 120 Classic Ivory. I'm just going to apply that with a damp Morphe blender and just push it in all over the face. All right, now that my face is all covered in foundation and no red is peeking through, I'm gonna go ahead and cream contour and highlight using the e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealers. And I'm gonna start with the darker shade to cream contour. And I'm just gonna contour my cheekbones and around my forehead, just to bring more dimension into the face, and then we'll set it after all the creams with the powder. So I'm just going to blend it out with that same damp Morphe sponge. I'm also going to go ahead and cream contour my nose. So I'm just going to do a line on both sides and the tip, and we'll blend it out. All right, now it's time to highlight the face. I'm going to be using the lighter shade of that e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer. And I'm just going to apply that underneath my eyes to highlight on both sides, and I'll use it to prime my lids also, since we're not doing an eyeshadow look, because I just wanted to focus on the base today. And underneath that contour, chin, down the bridge of my nose and my forehead. All right, so now that we have cream contoured and highlight, I'm going to set the face using my favorite drugstore powder, and that is the Airspun Loose Powder in Translucent. This is an OG. Pick it up in your local drugstore, but it is my favorite powder to set and bake my face. I'm just going to be pressing it underneath my eyes to set my concealer, and then also on my lids. Right, now I'm going to set the whole face using just a e.l.f. Flawless Face Brush, but it's just a big fluffy brush. I'm going to take that same Airspun powder and I'm just going to push it in all over the face. All right, once my whole face is set with that Airspun powder, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild's contouring palette in the shade Dulce de Leche. And I love this I use the bronzer side right here to go over that cream contour, and I'm just using an e.l.f. bronzing brush. I'm taking that same bronzing powder I used from the Wet n Wild contouring palette and just take it on the sides of my nose, just 2 lines just to further contour. I know it looks harsh right now, but once we bake, it'll all come together. All right, the next step is blush. I'm going to be using my favorite drugstore blush. It is the Milani Luminoso. I'm just going to apply it to the apples of my cheeks with the e.l.f. powder brush. It's just a flat top brush. Now it's time to bake the face using that same Airspun loose powder on just a Real Technique sponge again. I'm just going into that powder and I'm going to press it on the sides of my nose just to bake that contour. That way it's not that harsh. All right, once my nose is set, I'm going to go in using the flat side of the blender and taking more of that Airspun loose powder, and I'm going to bake underneath my contour just to sharpen it, and my smile lines as well, and under my eyes. Once the face is baking, I like to go in and do my brows now. So I'm going to be using my favorite drugstore brow product, and that is the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer, and I use the shade Brunette. On one side it has a spoolie, and then on the other is the little precision pencil. My brows are on. It is time to just apply mascara, pop on some lashes, and dust away this bake in a lip. Oh, and highlight. And then we are finished, so we're almost there. My favorite drugstore mascara to use under my falsies is the Wet n Wild Mega Length. It is this purple tube that they have, and it is waterproof and in the shade Very Black. My absolute favorite lashes to use, they're not at the drugstore, but you can purchase them from Amazon, and they're only $15, but it comes in a pack of 3. It is the McKiwi lashes. They're super wispy and dramatic, and they're just my favorite. So I'm going to be popping those on with my favorite drugstore lash glue, and that is the Kiss Lash Strip Adhesive. So I am back, and the lashes are on. I also went and applied some mascara to my lower lash lines with that Wet n Wild Mega Length. And now I'm going to use that fluffy face brush and just dust away all this bake. Right, now it's time to highlight. I'm going to be using my favorite drugstore highlighter. It is the Maybelline Master Chrome in the shade Molten Gold. It is super pretty and very pigmented. And last is the lip, and my favorite drugstore one is the Milani Amore Matte Lip Cream. And this is in the shade 10, Adorable. It's just a really pretty nude. And that is my completed everyday drugstore base. So comment down below what you guys want to see next, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.